오늘은 딜리에 세러데이 워킹이라고 외국인들끼리 하는 그 왓츠앱 그룹이 있거든요. 주말마다 프로그램이 하나씩 올라오는데 타이베시 마켓이라고 하는 데를 걷는 이런 프로그램이 오늘 있더라고요. 그래서 오늘 타이베시 마켓을 가보려고 합니다. 선선해. 오, 무서워. 제가 지금 개에 물릴 뻔했거든요. 그래서 방어적으로 다니려고. 이렇게 미끄롤렛 경로를 볼 수 있는 지도가 있거든요. 또 외국인분이 정리해 주신 건데 오늘 이걸 참고해서 보려고 합니다. 되게 느리네. 여기죠. 얘는 7번에 타면 되고, 제가 있는 곳에서 좀 동쪽으로 걸어가서 여기서 타면 되겠네. 왜 이게 안 와? 오지마. 오.
어디 왔어?
나 어제 이렇게 뒤쪽으로 쭉 가서 티모르 플라자까지 가서 그 마켓 보고 밥 먹고 이렇게 왔어.
마켓에 뭐 볼 거 있어?
아니 그냥 약간 동네 작은 잔치 정도? 어우 잘 다녀. 뭐야? 개 조심. 봐봐. 저
귀엽네.
아니야. 저 호전적으로 뛰어오는 거 봐. 오 잠깐만, 안 좋다. 아니 나도 걔 좋아하거든? 근데 도망가다가 차에 침입했어가지고 그래서 좀 경각심을 가지고.
일주일 안 지나서 사고 날.
아니 근데 봐봐, 그거는 인적 사고. 네, 제 잘못이죠. 여기서 기다릴래? 아니면은 가다가 보이면 세울래?
7번
핑크. 아 저기 뒤에다. 아니다. 근데 6번이 오면 7번도 오겠지. 아 여기서 올라오는 7번에 타거나 내려가는 9번에 타면 돼. 저 몇 번이야? 7번. 오, 뛰어야겠는데? 뛰자. 가자. 저분인가 보다. Hello.
Morning.
You're for the Saturday walking?
Yes. I'm guessing it's here because this is where my ping came,
Uh-huh.
but she's also, so she's a...
Hello. Good morning. Here at a holiday.
No, I'm volunteering.
Volunteering.
At Pro Emma. You have to go to Pro Emma.
I went there yesterday.
You went there?
Yeah.
Oh, for the Christmas
Yeah.
party. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Australia.
Australia.
Where are you guys from?
South Korea.
South Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, but it's only 30% up.
Good morning.
Right, yeah.
Good morning.
For sure, if you're living at Matambulak, you're not a volunteer.
No.
I'm actually getting in there next month.
Oh, great.
Yes. Just seeking for the contract now. My name is Moon. Just call
your
Moon.
Moon, lovely.
Yeah. Oh, it's a big group.
We're supposed to have like 22 or something today.
Is there like an official guide?
So it varies on who leads, depending on who's available on which days. The guy that's leading us today knows a lot about the area, and so he created this one.
So, shall we start?
Is Jonty
30
coming?
seconds too. Well, I can do this. So in here are the ashes of my good friend Helen Hill. She died in March. Yeah. This is Max Stahl. He's the filmmaker who filmed from about here. Has everybody seen the footage of the Santa Cruz massacre? No. Okay. Go look it up.
She's not whipping out her screen.
It doesn't have a happy ending. About something like 250 people were killed and about another 250 disappeared, presumed dead. So a young man was killed in a peaceful protest. He's buried over there. His name's Sebastian Gomez. Then as his funeral at Motael Church with many, many, many people. Basically when they got here, the TNI, the Indonesians, started firing on them. And they started rushing to get inside here. The most famous shot is of people sort of piled up, jumping over each other to get through that gate. There was a guy here cradling his friend. It looked like he was going to bleed to death. In fact, he didn't. But that's the statue that you see. Well, you don't see it right now, but opposite Motael Church. So the guy didn't die. Last time I knew, he was managing a youth centre in Bicora. But because he hadn't died and they didn't ask him whether it was okay to put this statue up, and you know, it's kind of considered bad luck, it took a long time before they took the tarpaulin off. Sorry, Jonty, I'm doing the start promptly. Anyway, Max filmed this whole event. He hid the footage in a little niche about here, which is why this spot was chosen for his ashes. He came back under cover of darkness, retrieved it. The film was exported in the bloody knickers of a Dutch lady, which then went everywhere. And politicians could no longer pretend that there was no problem here. So that set in train a real change in course for the future of the resistance. In the UK, you would be even more impressed that Max was once a Blue Peter presenter. This is a TV show for kids that's been running for like 60 years, yeah. And everybody knows who their presenters were, their cohort. He actually changed his name because he became then a war cinematographer, and it wasn't really in keeping with the image. So that's that. Was there anything else you wanted to?
You talked about Sebastian Gomez.
Yes. So Max died on the 30th anniversary of the death of Sebastian Gomez. How freaky is that?
Did you do introductions?
No,
we haven't done that. We're waiting for you to do the fight. It might be inappropriate to do that on the sacred ground.
재밌는데?
Signed up. Good morning, everybody. Here. So today's walk is a bit of a history walk, a bit of a small hill up to the temple, but otherwise it's relatively flat. The main obstacles, challenges are the streets of Dili, so obviously traffic, holes in the pavement, dogs potentially. So just be careful, particularly as we're quite a large group and you're walking along some of the roads. Now, quick introduction, so I'm Jonty, I'm a volunteer from New Zealand, been here 9 months, written a few books on Timor, and I'm doing a few walks. Who are you?
I'm Audra Phelps. I'm the director of QSI International.
I'm Keith Phelps, I'm from the United States.
I'm Jimmy from South Korea.
I'm Moon for Korea, Koika.
I'm Maddie from Australia. I'm Anna.
와, 이거 진짜 오래된 건데. So it's a Buddhist temple?
Hindu.
Hindu. With the church.
This is the
Competition next door.
Haha. Where are you from?
Portugal.
Portugal.
And you from?
South Korea.
Korea. I was going to say that.
What's your name?
Jose.
Jose.
And yours?
Moon.
Moon?
Moon.
Moon.
Moon in
Like
the
the moon.
Yes, yes.
Not your Korean name.
It's our family name.
Okay. It's very easy to remember.
Where are you from? Lisbon, Sporting.
Very close to Lisbon, yes.
Sent to occupy or Timor-Leste came from Bali. So whilst they're here, they built a temple to worship. So there's a grant at the moment with some money from the government, I believe $1.2 million being spent rebuilding or renovating the whole temple. And apparently it's for tourism purposes. Photo here. So maybe if you guys...
Maybe with
maybe
the
go inside.
elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah, live.
I've got to show you.
Okay, well the padlock and the full.
I think inside is already ready, right?
Uh-huh.
It's right here.
Oh, there he is. Tracy. Obrigado, Mom.
Oh.
Obrigada. Not via.
근데 힌두 신 중에 부처가 힌두 신이에요. 그래서 같이 모시는 경우도 있어. 여기 시바 있듯이 저거는 부처님 상징이에요. So when was this built?
During the Indonesian occupation, so that
Uh-huh.
was like the late 70s, 1980s, and 1990s.
And the church?
I don't know.
Ah, okay.
That's what we were just talking about. Information in Timor is quite difficult to find.
어렵네. 영어가 잘 안 나온다. 막 샬라샬라 하고 싶은데.
일요일 아침에 그래.
그치?
네, 이런 거 투어 상품은 없을 거 아니야.
그치?
Go ready? Okay, push up the car.
다 최근에 죽은 사람들이네.
Yes, so this is Steve. He was a very avid walker with the group. He was one of the original walkers. He led a few of the walks. He was a very generous, extremely kind and talented man, except he couldn't sing at all, but he was in the choir anyway. He was born in Yorkshire in the UK. He moved to New Zealand after various illustrious bits of career. He ran marathons. I think he played cricket for Cambridge University or something. Anyway, he'd gone home for Christmas. He woke up with a backache, which he attributed to sleeping funny. It was actually the first symptom of dengue. He flew to Bali, where he got sicker, and then the fatal mistake he made was he came back here. He flew back here, by which time had to be taken off the plane on a wheelchair, so that he came back on New Year's Eve. He went to Stamford, then he was moved to HNGV and he died the following lunchtime. So he died on New Year's Day, 2018. He was 72 years old. He'd thrown a 70th birthday party, but it was a 60s theme and we all thought he was 60. It didn't occur to us that he was 70. An absolutely lovely man, and he would be delighted to have you around him. When he was 18, had a year out and he'd gone to Africa. He knew then that he wanted to help people in developing countries. Realised his dream, but alas, it killed him.
I think he had dengue before,
He had dengue when
and it's because it gets worse with each.
No, actually, I'm pretty sure that the problem was that he had some other condition. He had dengue and he was travelling alone. There was no one to remind him to take it might have been his liver or his kidneys or something. So there we go. Be warned, if you're travelling alone, be very careful. Make checking that you've taken
So it's probably one of the largest ones in the country. From my non-scientific basis, it's probably the best lit cemetery in Timor. If you notice, above, over half the graves, solar panels with LED lights. And so at night, taking a drone over here at night, and the whole thing is lit up. It's weird because Timor, like in around Dili, there's no real street lighting, so like the whole city is dark and black. Apart from the cemetery is bright, kind of bright. So if you ever come back here, it's a bit far to take everybody, but towards the back of the cemetery there's a fantastic grave of the guy who brought Kung Fu to Timor-Leste. It's a Chinese guy, and it's got a full size statue of him on top of the grave. He was the Kung Fu master in Timor-Leste.
어허. 이건 봐. 저 먹어봤어? 저. Morning. Morning. I'm fine. 교회 끝났나 보다. 와우. 아, 성심교회.
Speaking church, so this is the sacred part of Jesus Church, opened in 2021. Took 8 years to build, $2.1 million. That's half the annual budget of the Ministry of Tourism. It's difficult to see, but it's got quite a nice interior as well. And it's just nice to see the Sunday morning in Dili kind of experience. Okay?
Yep. 예배가 영어로 뭐야?
미사.
미사.
아니, 영어가 아니라 그냥 미사라는 단어가 나는 보통. 아니 근데 예배는 근데 이거 성당이잖아.
근데 그것도 예배라 하지 않아? 예배는 어떤 기독교적인 단어가 아니잖아.
예배 그 썬데이 서비스가 할 걸?
미사라고 합니다.
미사.
아, 미사.
Okay, who has been to the Dili Convention Centre? And that was the old central market for Dili during Portuguese times, so that was the main market for Dili. In the 1980s, the city was just getting too big, so they basically closed down the central market and they opened up 3 new markets. So we've got Tabisi, which is probably one of the largest markets in Timor-Leste. We've got
Yesterday I found.
그건 상관없고요. 어떤 것도 상관없어요.
현지인 음식을 잘 못 먹는데 그나마 냉채 먹을 거
모스크의 형태를 다 땄네. 타지마할 같은. 이분은 지형 유지셨나 본데? 가운데 민트색. 무덤 엄청 좋잖아. 이 리딩 해주시는 분이 무덤을 되게 좋아하네.
이번 주에 그건가 봐.
So, but now I see 77 everywhere. It's a group, yeah, they kind of, this is like they mark their area.
77. 무술단체면서 이렇게 귀엽게 이렇게 이렇게 하는 거야. 다 완성. Chinese cemetery.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Do you know why there are Chinese ones around?
Okay, I look
I know we were talking about
But
Chinese
the
cemeteries.
Asian cemeteries like Japan, Korea, China, they have round graves, and especially in Korea and China, they build a small mountain on it.
Right.
So that means that you die in the mountains, go back to the ground. But I don't know the reason why they don't have the mountain.
So this is the Chinese cemetery, large Chinese population in Timor. They've been here for like 4th, 5th generation, but this will be the biggest in Timor-Leste.
So regarding to alligators, have you seen them?
Oh, crocodiles?
Yeah, crocodiles.
I have not, but I've heard there's one that lives in the port
Oh, in the port.
where you take the dragon boat.
Uh-huh. So Atauro is perfectly safe?
Yeah, there's no crocodiles out
okay,
there.
okay.
None.
Arlington, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, so this is the Indonesian military cemetery. So there's 697 Indonesian soldiers here, although only 243 of them have been identified. So these are people who've died during the occupation. Now, originally there were, I think, 15 military cemeteries around Timor-Leste. After independence, they kind of fell into disrepair. So a few years ago, they decided to consolidate. It's to do with the relationship between, obviously, Timor-Leste and Indonesia. There was criticism of the Timorese government because they're spending government money to look after the graves of the occupiers. But Indonesia is very important as a neighbour to Timor-Leste. So there's a monument here, and the way it's laid out is there's graves on the right and the left and beyond. So we'll just do a bit of a loop around and then head back out.
Do you know South Korea was occupied by Japan, you know? So it's actually hard to think of this
Right.
thing, Japanese military cemetery in South Korea.
Right. I could.
There would be a revolt. Yeah.
We find it odd that they can do that here.
I think it helps that the average Timorese is like 20 and never
Yes.
knew the occupation.
But still,
But- right.
I find it odd.
But it actually
Right.
gives insights to the Timorese, right?
Mentality.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
kind of have to though, because Indonesia is massive. Timor's tiny.
Yeah.
So Timor can't keep fighting against Indonesia.
So this was maybe an action for reconciling, maybe making
Sounds
peace.
a little bit.
It says something about, as you say, about the army. It's very, you're just a person in the army. Like you're just,
There's no solar lights. There's no flowers.
no. In Papua New Guinea, there's a number of cemeteries for Australian soldiers who died in World War II there, and they're the best maintained places
Really?
in Timor. People are like with scissors,
Oh,
like, cutting
oh.
grass, and it's beautiful, beautiful.
Wow.
They actually don't have names.
Not
don't
many of
know.
them don't anymore.
Yeah.
Well, he also said that many of them they didn't know the names.
Which I don't quite understand how that happens, but maybe got lost in the records. Or,
Sitting, so. John, thanks everyone. Yeah. More dead people.
More dead people.
Okay, thank you everybody for coming along today. I hope you enjoyed the walk. So yes, thank you for coming along. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and see you soon.
Thank you.
So unless they do a Saturday, Sunday again.
See you.
Okay, pleasure to meet you.
Bye bye.